Today I am going to speak on answer writing in geography. First and foremost, we need to understand that the nature of geography is geospatiality. We need to find out geospatial variation and variability and organization and structuring of variation and variability of geospatiality. Variation means change. This change is visible on surface of Earth. Variability is degree of change. Degree is to be seen in respect of directional change and change in magnitude. Organization and structure emphasize on rules behind this variation and variability. And rules are represented in terms of theories, laws, rules provide core concepts to describing and explaining variation and variability. So remember that while we are looking at answer writing, we need to know the nature of geography first, which is its geospatiality, geographical variation in simple terms. Variation is represented in terms of change and rate of change. The change could be in form of direction and magnitude. We need to represent directional change as well as magnitudinal change, which we will explain later in detail while we will be solving previous year's questions, most importantly from 2013 and onward. Now we have previous year's questions for the new syllabus, which was introduced in 2013 when the new pattern of the mains was. So now we have almost 11 years of PYQs before us. Once we look at the variation and variability, which are large, which could be changing from local, regional to national to global. So there are going to be certain rules behind these variation and variability. Those rules which we understand provide our geographical matter to organize and structure in a precise and concise way. And these rules are represented in terms of the theories and the laws, which are generalized and simplified way to understand geographical variation and variability. Now, while we are going for the answer writing, now as we know that geography has emerged as geospatial science, which is a soft science. It is not hard science like physics, chemistry. So this geospatial science is represented in terms of theories and rules. There are 4 aspects of the answer writing. First is understanding of question itself. Remember that the question is understood in terms of the core concept behind organization and structuring of the question itself. We need to identify theme behind designing of the question. That understanding is a must. So a student is required to first understand the question and the thinking of the question paper setter behind designing of the question itself. So first we need to understand the thinking, means the core concept, yeah, the theme behind the designing of the question. So in terms of the understanding of the core, yeah, theme behind designing of the question, our answer writing of the question must be represented in terms of thematic interpretation. Means according to the theme, we need to select our facts and figures. So a student is required to take facts and figures which are related with the core concept, yeah, theme behind designing of the question first. A student is required to avoid societal fantasy, societal imagination in answer writing. The answer writing must be solely entirely dependent on the facts and figures which are representing the answer writing and must be in relation to the question behind answer writing. So, connectivity of the facts and the figures which a student has selected to write answer is key to answer writing in the geography. Because as I have told earlier, we need to identify the rules behind variation and variability of the geospatial phenomena on surface of the earth. And those rules are represented in terms of theories and laws. Second, if once we have selected facts and figures, they must be arranged. With logical consistency and sequencing. And that logical consistency and sequencing must be followed, theories and laws and the rules behind organization and structuring of geospatial phenomena. This logical consistency and sequencing provides structuring to the answer. Structuring means paragraphs and their arrangement. Third parameter is, first I told consistency, connectivity. Second is logical consistency and sequencing. Third is the language and representation. The language must be precise and concise. I have already told you, the geography has now emerged as a geospatial science which is considered as a soft science, representing the geospatial rules, theories, and the laws. So in geography, we cannot go for the flowery languages. The language must be precise and concise, and representation must be precise and concise and must be added with the required geospatial tools and techniques. Geospatial tools and techniques are maps, diagrams, and the charts, and the graphs. It is written in the instruction, in the copy also, in the paper also. While we are writing our answer writing must be precise and concise, and that precise and concise language in respect of the paragraphs must be added with requisite maps, diagrams, charts, and the graphs, because these are the geospatial tools which support concise and precise language behind our answer writing in form of the theories and the laws. Fourth guideline is the balance. This balance is represented by the answer writing of the head of the question as well as tail of the questions. You know that the questions in the geography are relatively longer, any optional subject, and there is a head and there is a tail. So there must be a balanced writing in respect of the concise and precise language, number of the diagrams, maps, charts, and the graphs selected for the head of the question, that is the first line, and the tail of the question, which are behind the first line. The balance must be also in form of the number of dimensions selected, because geography is multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature. So number of the dimensions we are selecting must be in balance, as well as there must be a balance between the facts and figures we write for each of the dimensions. This way, our writing is holistic in nature and integrating in nature. With this holistic and integrating answer writing, we can maximize our score in the geospatial science, which is geography. Thank you all.